So, here we are again to talk about this segment, which I would like to call Things That Are Coming Out, and that wow, why did I say my name with an English pronunciation? That Katarina is not yet aware of, but she's kind of very slowly reading what she should be and doing a review about things that are already out for a little bit of time. So, no further ado, a new manga review. Hello beautiful bookworms, my name is Katarina and welcome to my channel, and today, as I previously stated, I'm going to be doing a review of a manga that is starting, so a new series that is starting, and I fortunately got the first two, which are the only ones that are out in English at the moment, and I decided to make a review on it just so you guys know what I think about it, and since it is an author that I really want to like this work, but I have doubts. So the series that I'm talking about is by the creator of Tokyo Ghoul, which is one of my favorite manga series ever. So you see the problem here, and that is Suishida, and I'm talking about Choujin X, or however the fuck you pronounce this. I think it's Choujin X. So we have volume 1 and we have volume 2. These are really big volumes of stories that I have no idea how I'm going to fit on my fucking shelf. But that aside, this is their new manga series. Apparently it's going to be a biggie one. However, my first impact on this series was pretty cool. I want to read it, but I am not sure about the premise. Since the premise of the first one, which is the only one that I'm going to hold because I have a problem on my wrist, it says, best friends Tokyo and Azuma do everything together. Even if most of the time it feels like Tokyo is just stumbling along in Azuma's cooler, more talented footsteps. But when they're attacked one night by a superhuman mutant called a Choujin, Tokyo finally has a chance to shine by turning into a Choujin himself. And then it's like, being a superpower creature isn't all it's cracked up to be, though. Tokyo has to hide his transformation from his family and dodge a truancy charge at school, all while dealing with the increasingly odd incidents happening around town. And it was here in this second part that I started to lose hope. And then I read this, and now I have questions. So first of all, as it states, is a story about this kid. He is the, let's say, loser with quotation marks, okay? Kid in the room, he has no dreams, he has no desires, he wants nothing or does anything that his best friend wouldn't do. And they kind of like have this patrolling of the city to see if everything is okay with the city and its citizens. That was started by that friend, and he's just there because one day he saved his ass and he's like, I'm gonna do everything in my power to live my life around you and to be with you and to just, be this obsessive creature all around you all the time, which is not healthy at all. But yeah, whatever. And then in one day, one of those people that they wrestled against, like these mafia people, suddenly were given this strange power through the syringes where they can turn into these monsters called Choujin. So the premise of this is some humans have this gene that is the Choujin X gene, and they can turn into monsters, each of them with their different peculiarities of figurines and powers and stuff, and some humans don't. They don't. Normally, strong emotions and moments of crisis make a Choujin reveal himself, and that person will be ostracized by all fucking society, which is not great at all. But apparently, these syringes can also create Choujins. So, whilst they're being attacked by these people, they're like, we can't win because they are mutated. And this is not spoiler, this is like volume 1, and some parts of volume 1, like beginning of volume 1. So it's just, for me, it's like a first chapter, volume 1, so I'm going to talk about it. They're like, we can't defeat these people, we have to pierce ourselves with the serum and try to turn into Choujins. But Azuma, the best friend that does everything and it's perfect, cannot turn into a Choujin, but Tokyo can. And one of the things is that Choujins, when they turn Choujins, they assume the form and power of the thing that they have focus on. And Tokyo apparently was always defined by other people as being sort of like a vulture creature, because he like feeds off all of the popularity and energy that Azuma has, even though it's not cannibalistic, literally or figuratively. He's just really, he wants to be around Azuma, and so he transforms into this weird creature with a beak, and he has some powers, but he doesn't know how to deal with them. And Azuma kind of freaks the fuck out, and apparently is upset because he couldn't be a Choujin himself. I don't know. I don't know. Trying to understand this. And he is then recruited by this organization that exists of Choujins that train Choujins, so they don't do anything wrong against society, and it's just so shonen. And my grip with it is that I absolutely love Tokyo Ghoul. It's one of my favorite manga series ever. I loved the first anime adaptation. I despised the second one. And even though Tokyo Ghoul Re wasn't incredible, I still really enjoyed it and understood the message that it wanted to fulfill, and was a voracious reader of everything Suishida had that was related to Tokyo Ghoul, like art books and even novelizations of some of the parts of the stories. And it had that darkness, and it had that thing that it was talking about how we are all a little bit monsters, and if we embrace it or if we try to remain human at a point, this has no discussions whatsoever right now. And it's just an amount of, there's an organization that has those serums and want people to be turned into Choujins, and even though there's darkness because there are people killed and Choujins kind of lose all grip with reality when they go beast mode, and so they do horrible things. I don't know how to explain to you. It's not a seinen. It's not a dark, thing that just grips you and deals with a lot of stressful situations. It's just a more teenagery thing. And if there's one thing that I don't really enjoy in manga, is the YA versions of some of the manga. But I'm willing to give it a shot, partially because Suishida's art style is incredible, and this author is one of the authors that I just get obsessed in the way that they do like action scenes and sequences, and how their characters are built and drawn. And there are places where you can see the digital, but there are also places where you can see the little script lines of the pencil and what they are doing with their art style. And that for me is incredible, and I am very partial because I really like Suishida. However, I am not sure. I'm going to need at least one more volume to decide if I'm going to continue with this or not. However, I am a little bit disappointed, but by no means does this mean that the art quality and the story quality is terrible. It just means that from someone that brought me so much develop and characters that I really liked in other stories, now is bringing me Tokyo, that I'm sorry for him, but he has no ambition, he has no desires, he has nothing. And maybe it's going to be fun to see how that progresses into him becoming a Choujin is actually the thing that's going to make him become a human, because he's going to understand what's his desires and ambitions and what he wants to do with the power that was given to him, because that's a little discussion that happens in these two volumes. Like, if you had the power of, what would you do with it? But yeah, I'm more intrigued to see where this is going than actual excitement and happiness about it. However, I like it, and I wouldn't tell you to pick it up if you like, normal shonen series. I would very much, and by no means I'm saying I don't like shonen, since I've watched most of the shonen animes out there. I prefer to read seinen and watch shonen, but that doesn't mean that I don't like to read shonen from time to time. So if any of these things that I talked about told you something in your heart and you want to try this, I would very much recommend. I wouldn't say it's something that you will not miss if you don't read. I think the art style is good. I think everything is great. However, if you prefer something more deep, I think that Tokyo Ghoul is better at this point. And I know it's very ungrateful to be judging an author's work by another work that they did, but it's just, the comparison isn't like it's impossible not to. But yeah, but one thing that I really enjoy is that people are drawn differently in Choujin X and Tokyo Ghoul, and some of the authors that do a lot of mangas, they do like the same faces over and over again, just call those characters other names. But this is not the case. The characters are distinguishable, and I really enjoy it. The secondary characters are really great in here, though, so for that alone, I think that you should read it. And yeah, I think that's all that I have to say about Choujin X. So yeah, guys, that's all that's going to be for this video. I hope that you guys enjoy it. Leave a like or subscribe if you did, and tell me in the comments down below if you've read this series or Tokyo Ghoul, or if you're going to read it, if you would like to. And that's going to be all for today. Happy readings to you all. Bye!